Yo, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make melodies for Whole Lotta Red.
Pineapple!
Alright, so I already recorded this video this morning and I did it from scratch, but I was editing it like a couple minutes ago and it all messed up and deleted the original files, so I don't have the video anymore. So I figured I would break down the beat that I made because it was pretty cool. So overall, this is a really simple melody. Really the base of it is just this chord progression here. And I started off by putting it in a gated synth just to fill up space. So it sounds like this. And I just played these chords on my keyboard in C major because it's all of the white notes, so it's really easy to learn. And then I felt that gated synth left it a little bit empty, so I layered this other synth on top of it, but I didn't make the chords touch each other. I dragged it back a little bit, so there's a little bit of space there. So here's what the second synth sounds like. And then those two together sound like this, and they layer really nicely. And I have them panned to opposite sides because they roughly take up the same frequency. The first lead sound I added is this lead, and I was listening to a Trippie Redd snippet, and this kind of lead was in there, and it was crazy, so I kind of took inspiration from that. So it sounds like this. And even though this is a super repetitive and simple pattern, these little changes in the second half make it a little bit less repetitive and really improve that little pattern. After that, I copied that same pattern over and I did it into a key that's a little bit softer, and it has like a filter gate effect to it, so it sounds really nice in contrast with that more aggressive lead. So I thought they could switch in and out throughout the melody. So this key sounds like this. So it's just a good contrast to that more harsh lead. Then the final sound in the melody is this bass, and it's super aggressive. And then I also threw a Fruity Fast Distort on top of it just to make it sound crazy. And it just copies the bass notes, and it sounds like this. So I added that because I feel like in that whole album there's a lot of songs that either have a super distorted 808 or a super distorted sub bass in the intro. So I wanted to throw that into this as well. And then for the mixing, I really didn't do anything too crazy. I just distorted that first gated synth and then EQ'd out a bit of the highs and then took out the lows. Left the second synth alone, and then boosted the highs and cut out some really harsh frequencies on the more aggressive synth. Then added reverb and an ozone imager to make that key even more spacious in contrast to the super harsh lead. On that bass, I cut out the highs completely and then threw Fruity Fast Distort on it again, but left it turned up higher because I really wanted it to feel super distorted. Then for the arrangement, I really just left it real simple. Just had these two synths playing the whole time, and then the lead and the key swap places. And then the cool thing I did, because I know in that Miss the Rage song or snippet or whatever, the melody gets reversed, so I wanted to do that. So I reversed it and chopped it so it stays in the same chord progression. And then I added this stutter before the drop, like the drums would come in here, so I added this stutter and it gives it a really cool effect. And then in the end I recorded it all out and pitched it down one, so it ended up being in B major. So I'll play just a little bit of the melody. And then I took the loop and I threw it into a new project, and I just did this automation clip to cut the lows when the 808 came in. And then I added relatively simple drums. So I started off with this 808 pattern that just copies the bass line. And I have these notes here that are turned down in velocity, and that gives a really cool effect when it's combined with the kick. And then I'll play the kick and the 808 pattern together. So they can combine really nicely, and especially with that half velocity 808 note I did, I think it works out really great. The next thing I added was this clap pattern. It's just a normal clap pattern, but I made it unique for the intro and the drop. So it plays and then it does like a roll here. So that sounds like this. And that just works really nicely for like everything to come in after that. The next thing I added was this snare pattern, and it's really simple. I just clicked it in by ear. Wherever I felt there needed to be a snare, there was one. I don't really know how else to explain it. Very simple pattern. There's really nothing to it. And then I put an open hat. It's an open hat. Plays on the 1 and the 5. And then the last thing I added was this hi-hat pattern. I just went through and added rolls and then held right click on the velocities to get this down effect, so it's like even. I don't really know, but like if I do it here, I hold right click, it'll all go down. That's a good tip, I guess. And then this pattern ended up sounding like this. For the intro also, I just brought the end of the hi-hat pattern to come in when that clap hits. So in the intro, it sounds like this. And then everything comes in. So that's going to be pretty much it for this video. I know this is going to kind of be a weird short video, but thank you guys for 400 subs. We randomly grew like 100 in a week. That was crazy, so thanks for that. I want to get to 1K so I can do the community post things and do like fun polls or whatever. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll play the final beat right now. My bad for this being a weird video. You can blame my computer.